and welcome to Crockpot Wednesday. And today I'm going to make a recipe of my variation for chili. Now I know everybody makes chili, and I thought you might just enjoy watching this video and seeing how I make it. I was going to make another recipe, but I have to wait till next week to make that, because in the course of the last couple days I have some food that I really need to get used up or it will go to waste. About a week ago, a friend of mine had a box of food that was given to her. She goes once a month to a place where they give some food, and in that box were some items that she didn't like, and so she gave them to me. And I'm always so excited when somebody gives me some surpluses of their food that they have, because I really do like using food up and not seeing it go to waste. So that is why we're going to make our chili today, and I'm just going to share with you how I'm going to throw everything together and make it into a really good meal. And it didn't cost me hardly anything. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some of my ground beef, and I'm only going to use 1 pint of it. And the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of my tomato paste, because what I'm making is it starts out with a lot of liquid. And then what we got to do is I'm using up my oldest of my food. We're going to get some kidney beans and some black beans. I want to try to use up a lot of different kinds of beans that I have here. In the course of a few minutes, I gathered all of my supplies to make chili. I'm going to make my chili today with some rice, because I have a lot of rice that I would like to get used up here before the end of the year. As you've seen in my pantry, I found one of these mixes for chili, and we're going to use that up. In the next week or so, I'm going to have some recipes of making your own chili mixes, all kinds of mixes, but we want to use up what we have first in our pantry. This was given to me for free. My husband drank a little of it. He didn't like it because it was straight tomato juice, and he likes the V8. So he opened this up, and it's not going to last very long if we don't use it. I have a can of tomato paste, which I did a video on. This will thicken this up a little bit. I have my kidney beans, and then I have some ground beef. Now this was Sloppy Joe that I canned, and the reason why I'm using this is because this was one recipe that didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, and I think I do have a video on this as well. What happened was, because I'm pressure canning, it almost has a burnt taste because I used barbecue sauce. When you use a barbecue sauce like that and you pressure can it, sometimes it can get a burnt taste to it. But it works great in a chili or in spaghetti. You can't taste it. Also, then I have some black beans as well. So let's get started and make this, and I'll show you how it looks. First thing we want to do is I want to take all of my beans and I'm going to rinse them, and then we will get started with putting it all together. The thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tomato juice that was given to me. It says 100% tomato juice. I'm hoping I can use a lot of this, because I really don't have any other use for it. And we're just going to put it all in. Then we're going to take our beans that we drained. And like I said, you all know how to make chili. But sometimes people like seeing how other people do things. So these are all the beans that I have canned. These are from 2017, because I'm always trying to use my oldest up. So we're going to have all the beans in here. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to use some of our Sloppy Joe. I know. I've been doing it for 30 years, my friends. 30 years. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this Sloppy Joe in. And like I said, when you make it with a spaghetti, it has a really good flavor. It's just if you eat it plain, it almost has a burnt taste. But we never waste food on the homestead or anywhere. You never waste food. That is a big no-no. And so I try not to waste anything. The tomato paste is something a little different for me. I'm not used to putting tomato paste in chili, but because I have so much liquid, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook this down. It's going to cook pretty thick. So we want to make sure we get all the tomato paste out. I'm already using a lot of this tomato paste. So if I could ever find some more real cheap, I'm going to get it. So I'm going to go ahead and stir it around a little bit. And then we have the seasoning packs. These are really neat. I like these. Let's just use a little bit of it, and then we'll see how much I need towards the end. Alright, so it's stirred around. It smells really good already. So we're going to let it cook for about 4 hours. I'm going to have it 2 hours on high and then 2 hours on low. And I'll get back to you and show you what it looks like when it's finished. I decided instead of having rice with this, I'm going to have it chili mac. That's something I never made here on YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cook some elbow noodles separate. And then at the very end, we're going to add the elbow noodles to the chili. And it's called chili mac. It's one of our favorites, and I haven't made it in a long time. So I'll get back to you when we get ready to make our macaronis. Another subscriber asked me this very important question. Hey Tessie, how long do herbs last in a jar? My dehydrated herbs I like to use up within a year, but they can last many years longer. And yes, they do lose some of their potency, but they're still very good to use. If you really want to keep your herbs for a long time in a long-term storage, use a oxygen absorber. So what is an oxygen absorber, you may ask? Well, I'm going to show you what one is. For my chamomile tea, this doesn't have an oxygen absorber in it because I use this a lot. But this here, some of my chicken soup mix has an oxygen absorber. Oxygen absorber is one of these little packs, and you put it in your jar, and it does exactly what it says. It absorbs the oxygen in your jar. In fact, on a regular jar with a mason lid, it will actually seal it. Now these jars, it won't seal it because these are not the mason jars. But it takes the oxygen out, which in turn keeps your food fresher longer. Hope you enjoyed this subscriber's question. Keep them coming. I love sharing the questions and answers with all of you. So I'm boiling the water for the shells. Now I didn't have elbow noodles, so I'm going to use the shells. I have the small type shells. So we're going to put them in, and I also add a little bit of Himalayan salt. So as soon as this water boils, and 10 minutes later, when the shells are done, we'll add it to our chili. So I got the seashells finished. They're cooked, and we'll get the chili out. So this is going to be my take on chili mac. So I'm debating if I want to put the noodles directly in, or if we're going to put the chili on top of the noodles. And I think we're going to put the chili on top of the noodles. If I happen to have a bunch left over, I can go ahead and can that, but I think we'll eat it up in this week. So let me go and put the plate together, and we'll see how good it looks. Alright, so we're going to put a little bit of cheese on top. And you know how I like my cheese. Cheese makes things really good. So there you go, everyone, is my version of chili mac using up food from the pantry and food that I got free. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, and stay warm. Thing I want to share with you quick. I still have 10 of my free garden seeds that I'm able to give away to anybody who wants to have them. These were already pre-packaged, so I really want to get them out before January when the postage is supposed to rise. If you did not receive a free packet of my garden seeds from the video above, please go ahead and send me an email. I would love to send them out to people. I have 10 more to give away that are already pre-packaged like this. If you're in the U.S. only, this is for only those that are in the U.S. So please, if you want to have a pack of my garden seeds, I have them to give away. I have 10 of them, so I will number as the emails come. So if you're the first one replying, you will be number 1, and I will do this until I have 10. So come on, does anybody want any of them? 15 years of wanting a food saver. I got one by a friend of mine and his wife. So this is the first time I'm using it with these leftover apples, and we are going to freeze these. I think this is going to be an amazing thing for me. So, like I said, this is the first time me using it. So we put it in the slot, and we're going to put it in the slot, and I watched many videos on it. I finally got it to work. I figured it out. Wow, this is cool. Ah, coolie coolie. I got it done. It took me 2 times to learn how to do it. And I'm going to work more on my bags. I know I wasted a little bit of the bags because this is new for me. So excited. Oh, goodness. Okay. Fanny must have been a very busy woman because today's diary entry was empty. So I guess we'll just have to wait till tomorrow to find out what Fanny has to say.